What is up? Good morning, good Friday. It's World Hockey Report live, come to you from good old Alberta. A little bit cold and snowy out there, but hey, it's Friday. Who really cares? A lot of stuff to talk about. Wow. What a day yesterday in sports. I mean, we'll try to stick to hockey. Connor McDavid, 6-point night. How are you? Draisaitl with 5. You also got Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph, trying to kill each other on a football field. That was wild. You know, I'm not a massive NFL or football guy in general, but I have never, ever seen anything like that. That was crazy. We're going to get to that. Couple other main topics I did want to touch on. Kovalchuk. He's getting the boot. I never really saw it working in LA. I thought it was a weird stunt. I figured like he was kind of trying to get to LA more than LA really wanted or needed him. So we will touch on that. Obviously, I mean, me and Adam touched on the Don Cherry thing. That was on Monday. We're not going to dive too deep into that, but I will pose the question. I mean, if they are to replace Don Cherry, who would they go with? Or should they even go with Coach's Corner anymore? I don't know. I mean, from the sounds of it, Ron MacLean's been pretty quiet on what's going on there. And Auston Matthews, breaking news from early this morning, I guess kind of late last night. Depends what time zone you're in. Auston Matthews, charges got dropped. It was those allegations over the summer. Kind of an incident with a female security guard. Supposedly they tried to break into her car while she was doing paperwork or studying. Something like that. Well, hey, those got dropped. Of course, the show is brought to you by Seat Giant. So when you're looking to buy tickets, you got to go to SeatGiant.ca. If you're in Canada, if you're in the States, go to SeatGiant.com. They're going to convert it for you. You're going to be paying Canadian or US dollars wherever you're at. You don't have to worry about that. That's one of the biggest, most frustrating things. I mean, if you're in Canada, you understand. If you're in the States, you got it good. Your dollar's worth a lot. I think your economy's doing just fine when you look at how other things are going. But for Seat Giant, they're going to convert it. Canadian dollars when you're looking to buy tickets at SeatGiant.ca, the best way to buy tickets. Friday morning. Wow. Almost the weekend. What are you up to? Hit me up on Twitter. Of course, always there at Janner31. World Hockey Reports on Twitter as well. You can find us at World Hockey RPT, and we're coming to you live on the 12 Ounce Sports Radio Network at 12 Ounce Sports. Let's start off. I just want to give my thoughts. I know if you're not a football guy, plug your ears for 1 second. Myles Garrett swinging Mason Rudolph's helmet at him. I don't condone. Stay hot. I don't even know. Is that like crazy, like criminal activity? I feel like if you're on a football field, like you kind of bring it on. Like Mason Rudolph easily could have avoided that situation. He didn't have to go after Myles Garrett. But what a swing. He grabs the guy's helmet. Like, it's bound to happen. Like, it's football. I mean, if you want that not to happen, make their helmets stay on. I mean, get them better straps. Something like that. Like, it's bound to happen. Something's going flying around. I mean, you see in the NBA, someone's going to throw a shoe at someone. It's just a lot different, obviously. Hockey, you got sticks. Like, you've got weapons out there. It all depends on what the player wants to do. Mason Rudolph's an idiot for picking on someone like 7 times his size. Plus, he started on the ground. I mean, if you watch the videos, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Myles Garrett, he should not be doing that on a football field. But let's not put all the blame on him. That's what I'm going to say about that. Moving on. Bigger topic. Connor McDavid, are you kidding me? What a stud. What a stud. And Oilers fans, I don't understand. I don't understand how this town can turn on a team so quick when you've got talent like that in the lineup. I get it. The rest of the roster is pretty subpar. I mean, the Oilers pick up a big win, and it's only because of their top two. That should have been a 6-5 game. Mike Smith got lucky. The Avs hit a couple of posts. There was a few that squeaked behind him. That one was in like a millisecond after the period had ended. That's a 6-5 hockey game there. 6-2. I'm happy for the puck line. Thank you very much. Of course, bet my bookie. Use promo code 12ounce sports. They'll match your deposit up to $1,000. You know how big that is if you're listening to the Primetime Kappa? Yeah. Midday show. Pop DiBiase, he is hitting you up with all the best bets. Like Oilers puck line last night. Cash it. Plus 150. It's easy money right there. But of course, you got to go through Bet My Bookie. Best place to cash those. So McDavid hat trick, 3 assists. Draisaitl had 5 points. Easy the lock of the year. Crazy stat though, McDavid had all 6 of his points before the second intermission. That's wild. That is something. I don't know. I mean, you're on pace for a 9-point night. And when you put it in that perspective, well, Sam Gagner, he had 8 points. Remember that one against Chicago? That was crazy. I think the kid Curtis Whitney was there. We'll have to get him on the show one time. I don't know. He always talks about that. Gagner, 8 points. That was in February of 2012. The other Oilers with 8 points, Gretzky and Coffey. I feel like there would have been a good amount of guys with 6-point nights back in the day when, the scoring, to play in an 8-6 game wasn't that crazy. So I feel like there's a good amount of 6-point nights there. But I mean, for Connor McDavid, hats off. The NHL's changed. That is incredible. Fun fact on Leon Draisaitl. 41 points through 21 games this season. He's the first player with that many points through the first 21 team games of a season since Mario Lemieux did it in the 2002-2003 season. Mario did have 45. Pretty damn impressive category to be in. Have yourself a start to the season. And I was talking about this earlier. Just general office talk. Draisaitl's having a great start. But for a guy with that much potential, I still want to see him drive the line. I still do. I say what you want. It's awesome that when him and McDavid are together, they are probably the best duo in the NHL. I still want to see him drive a line. I want to see him make the players around him better. He's proven he can put the puck in the back of the net. No one's doubting him there. There's still another level for Leon to get to. I know everyone's like, oh, but he's leading the league in points and everything. I think Nikita Kucherov has another level to get to. And he put up 130 points last year? You can't just be satisfied with statistics. Look at Ovechkin. I mean, you can be like, oh yeah, sure, won a couple of Rocket Richards, not a big deal. No, he knew he had to change his game to win a Stanley Cup. He did it. He won. He's got his ring. A lot of people don't. One other thing. I got to touch on it. I'm sure if you've heard it a bazillion times. But Jess Allen's comments on The Social, what is CTV doing airing that? I don't get it. Everyone wants to be like, oh, well, why would Sportsnet air Don Cherry's if there's a delay and stuff? They knew it was going to cause controversy. The Social's a pre-recorded show. Like, there is no excuse for, they're going to say that's an opinion. That's literally hate speech right there. Like, you're going to come after hockey players. I think anyone who is actually involved in the game of hockey knows that's not true. Unless you're Dan Carcillo just speaking out of your ass, trying to get attention. I mean, he's wild. We're not even getting into that whole Carcillo thing. We'll have to wait for Adam to come on to talk about that. But Jess Allen basically just said, "Oh, hockey's all for rich white kids, they're all bullies," you know. And yes, there is some. There's also a lot of other things involved in hockey. I mean, they're like, "Oh, we'll go travel the world." I mean, hockey has literally let so many people travel the world, myself included. I mean, lived in multiple countries, traveled through Europe. You know, it's the life of a suitcase. We don't have to get into all that, but I mean, just the whole culture, you see all that. And I don't even like the fact that they grouped hockey into it. Just, I mean, everyone's been to high school, everyone's got their own experience. If we're going to talk about bullies, I mean, I really feel like there's even other cultures that probably are a little bit more prominent in that sense, especially over hockey players. But shout out. I think it was Ryan Strzelnicki's dad. There's been a couple others that have chimed in as well, and they said that they're done with doing interviews with CTV until they get rid of Jess Allen on the social, and I think that's totally fair. If today's culture, TV, I mean, what be it, is going to do part with Don Cherry so quick and in the fashion that they did. I mean, we already talked about that. I understand why it happened. I wasn't happy about how it happened. I really don't think that the backlash on him is a lot different. Whereas this is someone who hasn't seen nearly as much as Don Cherry. Like, let's just put age into a factor there. And she's not being held accountable. Like, they're just going to accept an apology. So with Strzelnicki, they said, nope, no more interviews with CTV. More of the Humboldt Bronco parents have chimed in on that. And that just shows. I mean, you know, it's a horrible incident. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about that. That it brought the whole hockey world together. It really showed how close the hockey world is, how caring. None of this spoiled white brat and bully shit that Jess Allen wants to bring up. I mean, it's a clown comment. She's doing it for attention, and she crossed a line. I mean, it's hateful, it's bigotry, it's racist, and it hasn't been dealt with. So, yet again, I can say I fully support them. I 100% do. You know, if people aren't going to be held accountable the same, well, I mean, it's a double standard world. But yet again, you can do your part to help out. That's what I'm going to say about that. It's World Hockey Report Live. Cody Jansen coming to you live on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. Show brought to you by Seat Giant and MyBookie. Of course, when you're there, use promo code 12OZ Sports. You're going to save yourself some money. Or if you're going to place some of those bets, you're going to make yourself some money as they'll match your deposit up to $1,000. When we come back after recess, Ilya Kovalchuk. Looks like the Kings are done with him. Is he back to Russia? We're going to talk about it. We're going to break down a little bit more about him, just how it went wrong and how, I mean, I said it from the start. It was never bound to work out. It's World Hockey Report Live coming to you on this Friday, November 15th. We're back. It's World Hockey Report Live. Coming to you on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. 12-ounce TV as well. If you are watching YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, through 120ozsportsradio.com/TV. Hey, how are you? How's your Friday going? Of course, connect with me at Jenner31, at World Hockey RPT, and at 12-ounce Sports. Show brought to you by Seat Giant. Use the promo code 120OZSports, and you're going to save money on your next ticket purchase, thanks to SeatGiant.ca.com. Canadian funds, American funds. You're going to get the best prices, the best seats, and of course, their website's unreal. You can actually see where you're going to be sitting at so many different stadiums, parks, concerts, events. It's unreal. It literally is. Everyone's like stuck on their old ways. You know, we're not going to name the other companies, the other apps. But it's worth a try. Give it a try. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. I really do think it's an innovative way, and it's changing the ticket buying game. Minimal fees, your prices are the best. I've compared all the prices. I look at Oiler prices all the time just to compare. I keep them honest. You're going to save yourself $5 plus on tickets just with the whole fees and charges that some of the other places, charge. Moving along, back into the show. Gotta talk about another scary incident from yesterday. You hate to see it. TJ Brodie, he collapsed, started convulsing at Flames practice. Thoughts and prayers out to him and his family. It's a scary time. It's good to hear that he is doing better. But that's a horrible scene. You never want to see that. They've said he's had health issues. It's not the first medical episode, but it's tough. That's a tough one. And if you're a teammate, that's hard to see. That's one of your brothers going down. You hope he's all right. You hope he can get healthy and get back in the lineup as soon as possible. That's exactly what he wants. But first and foremost, his health has to be good. So again, thoughts go out to TJ Brodie and his family at this time. You know what? I really wanted to just go at Ilya Kovalchuk on this one. I knew that it wasn't going to work out in LA. I know why. You see why he wanted to go there. Not like he was getting treated bad in SKA, St. Petersburg, Russia. But you might as well try live that North American Hollywood high roller lifestyle for a little while longer. It just wasn't going to work out. There was no chance of this working out with the Los Angeles Kings. There was a part of me that's gone, he's never been a career winner. Aside from when he's with New Jersey there, they went to the Cup Finals, lost against LA. That's 9-10 years ago now. Maybe not that long ago. But, not going to do math on the spot here. I got a couple of things. Like this year, he's got 17 games played, 3 goals, 6 assists. He's a -10. Those numbers don't really surprise me. He had 16 goals in 64 games last year, only 18 assists. He's a -26. This is a guy who's supposed to be a pure goal scorer. Goals are his forte. You knew he wasn't going to be an assist guy. Just not who he's ever been. Defensively, he's always been a joke. He's always been a minus player. I was just quickly crunching some numbers here, and over his career, give or take, let's say 10 or 20, he's over a -150 in his NHL career. I know he played with Atlanta. I know he played on some pretty dog-awful teams. That's bad numbers. You don't. I get it. Everyone's like, oh, I don't like plus minus. It's not a great stat. When you're at that point, that is brutal. You are not doing your job in your D zone if you are a -150 in your NHL career. And it's more than that. I didn't add up playoffs. I'd guarantee you if you do that, it's even worse. So you could probably round it up to 160, 170. But I think one scoring title doesn't make up for that. One Rocket Richard trophy back in 2004 doesn't make up for piss poor play in your D zone. I mean, he was an aging player that's supposed to be relied upon to score goals. In the NHL, that's just not going to happen. No one's going to give him the free lane like they give Pavel Datsyuk in the KHL. So what does Kovalchuk do from here? Why would another NHL team pick this guy up or give him another chance? If you do, you are actually probably the stupidest general manager out there. And yes, that sounds a little bit harsh, but this is a guy with a failed track record time after time, and it's just not actually going to work in the NHL. The game's past him. If this is 2004, sure, he's not the worst pickup in the world. 2010, 11, sure, there's worse. He screwed over the Devils, that's for sure. That's one where you can probably pinpoint what type of a guy he is. And now he just screwed over the Kings. Tough look, but he's going back. He's going back to Russia. Scott will take him. No one can hit him in Russia. I mean, the league's rigged already. I'm sure a lot of people heard that KHL interview on Spittin' Chicklets, Igor something. He's a KHL reporter, went on there, tried to defend the league. Does not hide the fact that the reffing is biased trash. Not to say that all these games are rigged anymore. Like, yes, of course, for the Olympics, like, they had one goal in mind. But also, let's not just sweep under the rug all these guys who aren't getting paid, who are getting treated like shit, being put on sketchy airplanes, still having to live in bazas, going to training camp in June. It's not what hockey should be. Maybe if it's the Red Army, sure, that's all right. I don't know. Got a little bit more respect for the game. Hey, it's great. They're paying well when they do, if they do. If it's not in cash in a suitcase. But yeah, it's, you know what? It's given some people a chance. It's also screwed over a lot, and you can't just put that in the back and say, oh, things are changing. Meh. Still a different time. Okay, let's wrap that one up. Good segment there. Kovalchuk. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Of course, we're on Twitter at World Hockey RPT. Love all the DMs, comments, opinions. It's what makes the hockey world so great. We're coming to you live on the 12-Ounce Sports Radio Network. Back in a minute. Happy Friday. It's the World Hockey Report live coming to you on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. Show brought to you by Seat Giant. Of course, you're going to buy tickets. Seat Giant is the place to be. Use the promo code 12OZ Sports and you're going to save yourself some money on your next ticket purchase, whether that's a sporting event, concert, drama production. I don't know. They got tickets for everything there. It's crazy. Here's a conversation I wanted to have. Of course, you can connect with me on Twitter at Janner31, at World Hockey RPT as well, and 12-ounce Sports. You find them at 12OZ Sports on Twitter. All right, just as the highlights are rolling by, can we talk McDavid's 6-point game? That was nuts. Hat-trick. Talked about it earlier on the show. Not going to beat a dead horse. Probably should have been a 6-5 game, but McDavid and Draisaitl, together they are the best combo in the NHL. LA beats Detroit in overtime yesterday. Ugh. Good thing you didn't pick that one. Oilers puck line. I thought that was the lock of the century. I got lucky. Mike Smith did not play that well. They got lucky that they were playing a Colorado team with a rookie goaltender. All right, here's the conversation I want to have. Adam brought it up on Twitter. Of course, the Trout Man. Not joining the show today, but we will get him on. He's been busy. WHL Russia. Yeah, you know the kid was there. Worst hockey hits ever. This comes after Kelowna's Pavel Novak was given a 5 in a game. He hammered Kyrell Sapotic. I don't know. I don't know the name. I apologize about that for butchering that. But a brutal hit from behind. I mean, he's about, let's say, 7 feet away from the boards. Maybe closer to 10. And he just gets drilled in the numbers into the boards. This is high speed. Just an absolutely dangerous, disgusting hit. And that's the stuff that really gives hockey a bad rep. For the NFL, it's guys taking off other players' helmets and trying to hit them with it. Yeah, sure, that's dangerous. But this here, this is... I would say this is worse. This is literally how players have been paralyzed, broke neck, spine, albeit it is as dangerous as they come. The video came courtesy of Brandon Rivers. And it brought up, what's the worst hit you've ever seen? Adam picked a perfect one. It is just as disgusting, probably worse. Brendan Shinniman, his cheap shot on Josh Nichols of the Blades. This was back in the day of Tri-City Blades. And I mean, the video's up. World Hockey RPT tweeted it out a couple of days ago now. And it's the same thing. It's, someone's 10 feet away from the boards, drilled in the numbers, goes flying in head first, and it's horrible. Another, Michael Lang brought this one up, the Anthony Calabrese one, when he broke his neck, cheap shot from Tyler Marovich. That stuff is tough to watch. You never want to see that in the game of hockey or anything in general. Yes, that's bound to happen. But that's really when you got your disciplinary committees. They have to be holding people accountable for things like that. And they should. I actually haven't even looked at what the Dub has done for that player. But if it's anything short of 20, 30 games... You're letting the kid off lightly. You have to send a message. You have an opportunity to send a message. And the game of hockey does not need that. At all. No part of that. Alrighty, we're not going to beat a dead horse. The Don Cherry, Jess Allen saga, it's not over. It should be. I mean, one person gets fired. Probably the double standard is just leaking through. But it brought up this question, and I've seen a bunch of good answers. I'm going to give you my top 3 on if they continue with Coach's Corner, which I think is stupid, by the way. I don't think it should be continued on. It needs to be retired. It's like Rock'em Sock'em Hockey. How pissed would you be if someone else did Rock'em Sock'em Hockey other than the Don? It'd be pretty upsetting. But, this is a but, and it hurts. If they are to replace Don Cherry with someone else, who would it be? Here's my top 3. At number 3, I'm going to go with Kelly Hrudey. Yes, it's a wild card. Maybe he doesn't have all the hot takes or the real bold style that Coach's Corner could probably use. But a couple of things I do like about Kelly Hrudey is he's very smart, he's educated, he's seen all sides of the game, he's been around long enough, he's very good conversationally in the media. And he just seems like a natural fit over someone like Brian Burke, who, yeah, he's got a lot of hot takes, but he's hard to listen to for more than 2 minutes. At number 2, Adam is going to be pretty damn mad I said this, but I think Ray Ferraro is your probably number 2 guy. I love Ray. He is great hockey-wise. I thought his old podcast was unreal, the new one. It's all right. But he brings a lot to the table, which he works for TSN. I get it. It's a crossover. It's not going to happen. Like Ray loves the World Juniors and that stuff, World Championship. That's what his forte should be, needs to be. But Ray is one of the top 2, and I get it. Some people are going to say, oh, he's an easy shoo-in for number 1. Well, I'm not a big Battle of the Blades guy. But Colby Armstrong has impressed me in every way, shape, and form of just transitioning into the media from one of the good guys of hockey. He's still young enough that he can connect with the old and young generations. He's a whiz. He's got a cup ring. He is very good at getting his point across. He's great to listen to. And he's just a perfect face for media. You know, he's got that little bit of humor. He's got that deep emotional connection to the game. I think Armstrong's probably your shoo-in for that. And he's a guy that not many people talk about. So I would definitely give him some props there. Speaking of which, media, the whole podcast world, well, Pink Whitney, now in Alberta. Yes, of course, I'm sure a few people know about it. If Supernaut's listening, hey, we are going to get one. We'll talk with Adam. We'll get our sponsor on board. You know, it hasn't worked with our last 2 alcohol companies. They have bailed, left the boys high and dry. But hey, one day, we'll get our own bottle out there. I already told Soup last night, you're getting the first one. But Pink Whitney, quick review. Solid drink. Not bad. I can definitely see a little splash of soda on there. Might help. On the rocks. It works. Little sour. I can't say I'm a massive pink lemonade guy. I do enjoy a good lime. But it's a pretty good drink. I will give them credit on that. Like, this is from a non-vodka fan at all. It's alright. It's alright. I've had worse. I don't know what I'd rank it. I mean, if you want to go out of 10, it's probably 8.2. 8.2 seem fair. I don't know. Hit me up on Twitter at Janner31. Of course, World Hockey Report is on Twitter as well at World Hockey RPT. And you're watching it live or listening to the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. After the break, a couple more things. Auston Matthews, his charges. Well, there's an update on that. We're going to talk about that. Be back in a minute. Happy Friday. It's a good one. World Hockey Report live coming to you on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. Cody Jansen hanging out with you this morning. Of course, the daily lineup is looking great. As always, on 12-ounce Sports. The radio side of things, it doesn't get better. Highly suggest, make the switch. You can listen to your own local boring sports talk radio, same thing over and over. They got to be careful with what they say. Or you can try 12-ounce Sports. Unreal shows being added. Today's lineup, it started with Scout Team this morning. They're probably one of the funniest morning shows in the biz. They are unreal. You got a new Cows and Quacks coming up. Best Bets with Brett Seelig. You know he's going to be bringing some hot takes NFL from last night. Oh my goodness. Myles Garrett clocked Mason Rudolph over the head with his own helmet. If the NFL had more of that, I might watch it. But yet again, it's mostly just flopping like the NBA. Then you got the primetime angles. Pop DiBiase. You know he's bringing the fire. The sports stance. What a lineup already. Hey, let's tack that on a little bit more. You got Talkman Radio. That's live, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And the Vegas Squares with, I do believe, not gonna confirm. You're going to have to listen to find out. I believe El Jefe, the janitor, Jeff Beck, going to be on talking some college football, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 if you're in Alberta. You don't want to miss it. What a lineup. Come on. Does it really get better than that? No, it does not. You're kidding yourself. And hey, there's more to come. Bigger and better things, 12-ounce Sports, just growing. The network's unreal. Let's close this out. Last segment. Something I wanted to touch on because I think there's multiple angles to take at this, but as soon as it happened, he was plastered all over. Front page, this, and this. He's getting charged, not captain material. Horrible guy, did this. I heard he did this. And now that those charges have been dismissed, whether that is they were actually dropped or they came to a settlement, albeit financial, whatnot, Auston Matthews' disorderly conduct charge has been dismissed. Here's the story out of the Star columnist. It's by Dave Feschuk. Case is dismissed. Spokesperson for the city of Scottsdale, where the Maple Leaf Center was facing a charge of disorderly conduct and disruptive behavior, said Matthews and the female security guard who filed the complaint against him after an incident in May reached a settlement in the matters on Wednesday. Under Arizona law, an individual accused of a misdemeanor offense may settle the matter directly, that is, come to a financial agreement in exchange for a conclusion of the criminal case. So, if you're a fan of the Star or whatnot, that really doesn't matter. Obviously, they're going to have their own agenda or priorities, kind of just how they're going to word things themselves. But it was a massive stir this summer. A lot of people wanted to bring it towards the Leafs captaincy issue, or the fact that he didn't tell Kyle Dubas, whatever. Here's my issue with it. They're going to plaster this guy's face all over, call him a scumbag, say that he's harassing people. And then when this news breaks, I got to be... if I don't just happen to flip past it on Twitter, I was on TSN, I've been on multiple websites this morning, and this is as tucked away as it gets. Now there's the other side of things. Was this security guard, lady, female, bought off? Who knows? It says they could have come to a financial agreement. Matthews just signed himself a nice little 5-year, $58 million ticket. How are you? Could this be a bigger story that's being hidden? I don't know. You don't want to speculate, probably the last thing you want to do on something like this. Like it's a guy's career. Let's not. If it was something major, you would hope the court settled it properly. You would hope, right? Well, I don't know. End of the day, the charges dismissed. We already talked about McDavid's just incredible start, but I'll bring up those numbers in case you missed it earlier in the show. McDavid first Oiler with 6-point games, and Sam Gagner had 8 back in February of 2012. And Draisaitl, his 41 points through 21 games this season. First player to do so since Mario Lemieux during the 2002-2003 season when the Reed 6'6" had 45 points. That is crazy. Other NHL news, the Isles place Andrew Ladd on waivers, purpose of reassigning him to Bridgeport. Adam doesn't think anyone's going to pick him up. And I got to say, frankly, I agree with Adam. Definitely right on that one. Scary scene from earlier yesterday. Good to hear he's at a hospital now. TJ Brody collapsed at practice. Had a medical episode there. It's a scary scene. I know a lot of people were waiting on an update, so good to hear that. I mean, they think he'll be all right. Thoughts and prayers with his family. Still a tough time. I mean, anytime someone's health is at risk, that's got to be priority number 1. Kovalchuk, well, the LA Kings want nothing to do with him. He is likely heading back to Russia. I give my top 3. Who's Sportsnet? If they do keep going on with Coach's Corner, I don't think they should, but I'm not even going to assume they will. Will I actually watch Hockey Night in Canada tomorrow night? No. I mean, make your assumption all you want. Is it because Don's gone? Maybe I got something else up. We'll see. Odds are, though, will not be tuning in. But if they are, to replace Don Cherry, I have my top 3. Number 3, Kelly Hrudey. Number 2, Ray Ferraro. And number 1, Colby Armstrong. Gave Pink Whitney an 8.2 review. McDavid, 6-point night. What a performance. Also, that WHL Russia Super Series still going on. It was in PA, goes to a shootout. Nolan Foote, how are ya? I do generally enjoy this series. There's also a little part of me that thinks it's dragged out. It's good for the cities. It's great to see the SaskTel Center filled up that much. You rarely see it. Prince Albert, sure, their crowd is kind of meh. But it's still good to see. Do I honestly think it's benefiting the dub or the OHL, the Q? I really don't think so. This is pretty much the Russian World Junior team. This is honestly probably one of the reasons why Canada has not been so successful at that tournament. We'll break it down more, of course. Hey, we provide the best World Junior coverage. Adam Erbentrout, Matt Naif, myself, we go hard on World Junior time. It's the best time of the year. Spangler Cup, all of that stuff. So, CHL, they win the CIBC Super Series. Whatever it's called now. It's not the Subway Series anymore. Quick little recap in case you missed any of last night's NHL games. For those of you listening on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. Of course, the Oilers, massive win. Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, they lead the way. 6-2 over the Colorado Avalanche. Carolina beats Buffalo 5-4 in overtime. Tampa hammers the Rangers 9-3. Winnipeg beats Florida 4-3. Minnesota over Phoenix, Arizona. Wow, good start. It's not even the start, it's the end. Wow, it's Friday. Hey, we're checked out already. Minnesota beats Arizona 3-2. Dallas doubles up Vancouver 4-2. San Jose over the Ducks 5-3. And the Kings in overtime over Detroit. That's going to do it. We'll be back on Monday, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed, of course. Connect with us on Twitter. I'm on there at Janitor31 at World Hockey RPT as well. Hopefully you guys do go support the sponsors. They keep us going. They keep the lights on at 12 Ounce Sports. So that's SeatGiant.ca.com. Use the promo code 12OZ and of course, mybookie.ag. Bet MyBookie. Use the promo code 12OZ and they're going to match your deposit up to $1,000. That's it. Friday. Fun time, as Jeff would like to say. It's the World Hockey Report Live. We'll be back on Monday. Have yourself a great weekend.